What if the way you speak is the reason you're still poor? That question haunted me for days. You see, I wasn't born into wealth. I didn't have connections, fancy degrees, or a last name that opened doors. But I had a mouth and I used it carelessly. I used to talk like everyone around me, complaining about how hard life was, gossiping at work just to feel included, joking about money as if being broke was something to be proud of. I thought I was being real, but I was really just rehearsing my limitations out loud every single day. Then one afternoon, everything changed. I was on a retreat in a small mountain temple in Thailand. I had been burned out, frustrated, and searching for something, anything, to make life feel less empty. An old Buddhist monk sat with me as the sun dipped behind the hills. He listened as I vented about my life, my business struggles, and my endless feeling of not enough. He looked at me with calm eyes and said, "Your words are your prayers. Speak as if they are being written into your soul." I didn't understand it at first, but something in me knew this was truth. That moment became a turning point, because for the first time I saw speech not just as sound, but as karma in motion. And karma, as the Buddha teaches, is not punishment, it is cause and effect. If I speak with scarcity, I live in scarcity. If I speak with compassion and power, I begin to shape a new reality. And so I asked him, what should I say instead? The power of speech in Buddhism, right speech. The monk's words echoed in my mind for days. Your words are your prayers. So I went back to study what the Buddha taught. I discovered something powerful, something most people ignore. In the Noble Eightfold Path, the Buddha's Guide to Liberation, there's a step called Samma, Vaca, or right speech. Right speech isn't just about talking nice. It's about speaking truthfully, kindly, and purposefully. Because in Buddhism, every word is an act. And every act carries energy. That energy doesn't disappear. It plants seeds in your consciousness, and in the world around you. I realized that every time I complained, judged, or lied, even small lies, I was placing bricks on the wall between me and my own freedom. But when I spoke from compassion and clarity, even the tone of my voice changed. People listened differently. Doors opened. Right speech has 4 parts, the monk explained. No lies, not even white ones. No slander, don't divide people. No harsh words, speak with gentleness. No idle chatter, speak when it matters. Sounds simple, but try practicing that in real life. It's a challenge. And yet, when I committed to this practice, something shifted inside me. My speech became a mirror of my values. And with that shift, my external world began to change. The power of speech in Buddhism, right speech. The monk's words echoed in my mind for days. Your words are your prayers. So I went back to study what the Buddha taught. I discovered something powerful, something most people ignore. In the Noble Eightfold Path, the Buddha's Guide to Liberation, there's a step called Samma, Vaca, or right speech. Right speech isn't just about talking nice. It's about speaking truthfully, kindly, and purposefully. Because in Buddhism, every word is an act. And every act carries energy. That energy doesn't disappear. It plants seeds in your consciousness, and in the world around you. I realized that every time I complained, judged, or lied, even small lies, I was placing bricks on the wall between me and my own freedom. But when I spoke from compassion and clarity, even the tone of my voice changed. People listened differently. Doors opened. Right speech has 4 parts, the monk explained. No lies, not even white ones. No slander, don't divide people. No harsh words, speak with gentleness. No idle chatter, speak when it matters. Sounds simple, but try practicing that in real life. It's a challenge. And yet, when I committed to this practice, something shifted inside me. My speech became a mirror of my values. And with that shift, my external world began to change. The shift, learning the language of light. I didn't change my life overnight. I didn't win the lottery. I didn't meet a billionaire mentor. What I did was far simpler but far more powerful. I changed the way I spoke. I started small. Every morning before checking my phone or reading emails, I would say out loud, "Today I speak with clarity. I speak with compassion. I speak as if my words build my future." And slowly, the shift began. People responded to me differently. Clients I'd lost touch with reached out again. Deals that once felt stuck moved forward. But it wasn't magic, it was alignment. You see, when your words become clear, calm, and full of presence, you become trustworthy. Not just in business but in energy. That's what the Buddha meant when he said, "A person is not wise because he talks much. He is wise who is peaceful, friendly, and fearless." I used to speak from fear of not being enough. Now I speak from light, the light of awareness. This doesn't mean I'm always positive. I'm not fake. It means I choose words that uplift, clarify, and connect, even when I'm tired or hurting. And that choice has changed everything. My relationships became sacred, not transactional. My work became service, not survival. And yes, even my bank account grew. Because money is also energy. And energy flows where truth lives. Scientific proof, words reshape your brain. What the Buddha taught thousands of years ago, neuroscience is now finally catching up. Modern brain scans show that every word you hear, and even more so, every word you speak, activates neural pathways. These pathways can either trigger stress or release calm. They can either close you off or open you up to connection and possibility. Let me give you an example. When you say something like, "I can't do this," you activate regions in the brain linked to fear and limitation. But when you say, "I'll figure it out," you engage areas connected to resilience and problem solving. This isn't just mindset. It's biology. MRI studies show that positive, compassionate language increases activity in the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for emotional regulation, focus, and long-term planning. Even more fascinating, the brain has what scientists call mirror neurons. These fire not just when you speak kindly, but when you hear others speak with kindness. It's how compassion becomes contagious. This means that your words don't just shape you. They literally shape the emotional field of the people around you. Your speech becomes part of the collective nervous system. Buddhism always knew this. The idea of interbeing, taught by Thich Nhat Hanh, reminds us, we are not separate. We are one continuation. So every time you choose a word that uplifts, you are not just healing your own brain. You are healing the world around you. The 5 daily words that made me rich. After I learned how words shape the brain, I decided to speak like I was planting seeds, not weeds. Seeds of clarity, gratitude, purpose. So I created a small ritual. Every morning before I begin the day, I speak 5 phrases out loud, not just with my mouth, but with presence. Let me walk you through them. 1. Thank you. It's simple, but it's sacred. When I say it, I remember, I'm not lacking. I'm already blessed. Gratitude is the doorway to abundance and the language of humility. 2. I am capable. This phrase doesn't shout. It whispers. It reminds me that I don't need to be perfect. I just need to show up again and again. It reactivates my sense of inner power rooted in awareness, not ego. 3. How can I help? This flips the script from what can I get to what can I give? It centers me in service, not scarcity. And in Buddhism, generosity, dana, is the first perfection, the beginning of freedom. For this moment is enough. This one humbles me. It grounds me in the now, the breath, the silence between things. Because the Buddha didn't teach us to chase, he taught us to be here. 5. I trust myself. When I say this, I remind my nervous system that safety comes from within, that I am not broken, that I don't need to outsource my worth. I just need to return, again and again, to stillness. These 5 phrases are not magic spells. They are anchors for my awareness, my energy, and my values. And over time they've shaped the way I think, speak, act, and earn. Because wealth isn't just about numbers. It's about how you show up to life. With intention, grace, and a clear voice. How it changed my business, my life. At first, I didn't expect anyone to notice. I thought these quiet shifts, in language, tone, and presence, were just for me. But the world has a way of responding to alignment. People started looking at me differently. There was a calm in my voice, a steadiness in my energy. Meetings that used to feel transactional became real. Clients didn't just buy, they trusted. And then the numbers followed. Sales doubled. Referrals grew. People began saying things like, "There's something peaceful about you. I feel like you really listen." But the most surprising part? It wasn't just about business. My relationships softened. Old wounds with family began to heal. Even how I walked through the day changed. Less rushing, more awareness. I began living the way I spoke, with intention. And perhaps the most precious gift, I no longer felt fragmented. I no longer needed to pretend. I felt whole. In Buddhism, there's a word for this, samadhi, a state of deep stillness, focus, and unity. It didn't come from making more money. It came from learning to speak in a way that respected my soul. Final lesson, speak as if it shapes the world. Because it does. Every word you speak carries weight, not just in sound, but in vibration, intention, and karmic energy. Words are not just tools for communication. They are instruments of creation. Every complaint is a seed. Every compliment is a seed. Every "I can't," or "I'm not enough," or "I hate this." All of it goes into the soil of your mind. And the truth is, the mind doesn't forget what you say. It stores it. And then, it blooms it. In Buddhism, there's a teaching. Watch your thoughts, for they become words. Watch your words, for they become actions. Watch your actions, for they become habits. Watch your habits, for they become your character. And watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. So if words shape your destiny, then speak with care. Speak with consciousness. Speak with compassion. Because the world you long for, peace, love, success, meaning, doesn't start out there. It begins right here. In the words you choose. In the silence between them. And in the energy you plant through your speech. Speak as if the universe is listening. Because it is. And if you speak with wisdom, the garden of your life will bloom. So maybe, you don't need to work harder. You don't need to shout louder. Maybe all you need is to speak with truth, with care, and with light. Because words are not just sounds. They are seeds. And your voice is the garden you leave behind. If this message touched something in you, pause for a moment, take a breath, and before you leave, ask yourself, what words will I choose today? Thank you for listening. May your words become blessings, and may your life bloom beautifully.